Hi, everybody. Welcome to a special episode an extra special episode of White Label American. I like to refer to this episode as the Olympics Paris 2024 Part 1 or Part 1. I think Part 1 is French for one. I haven't spoken French in a long, long time. I've been speaking more German. So forgive my French, literally. Anyway, with the Olympics coming very soon, by the time you hear this, it might literally be 1 week away from the Olympics. Who knows? But anyway, the Olympics is here. And in the spirit of the Olympics, I have decided to, uh, start getting in tune with the Olympics. So here's the first episode that I shall be doing about the Olympics. And it's just me this time, give you something not too long, but just, let's get in the mood for the Olympics. So I've been watching a show called Sprint on Netflix, and it rekindled my Olympic spirit from way back in the days. Um, well, let me take you way back, way back. But before I do that, just in case you haven't met me before, I am your host, Raphael Harry, the one and only host of this podcast. Still looking for someone to take over part time, when I need to have a break. So if you're interested, let me know. You have to give me your fingerprints too on your social security. I'm kidding. Anyway, back to the Olympic story. So I think when I was six, between the ages of 6 and 8, my elder brother, who there's a big age gap between us, used to record um, Olympics events on video on VHS, right? And I'm pre-internet. So for those who are not aware, I existed before I was born in a country that didn't have internet and all that good stuff. So one day I found one of the VHS tapes and I put it on, and I saw a bunch of people marching with what happened to be the opening ceremony for um, Olympics and '82 Olympics, which was in Los Angeles. But I didn't really, you know, get too turned on by it. But it was just fun seeing countries, and by then I was beginning to fall in love with countries and names of countries. And back then, everybody seemed to wear the exact same uniform, unlike now, where people are now beginning to be more expressive and represent their countries and their cultures and traditions and all the good things about where people are from. Back then, it just seemed like everybody was wearing a white suit, in my little kid's opinion. But it was fun to watch. And I don't know why I'll be watching that for hours when I wasn't outdoors playing with my crew. And sometimes my crew will watch with me. I will just be making up stuff. And I guess we're pronouncing countries' names upside down. And that's how I got to know a whole bunch of countries that I've met people from in my adult life now. So my favorite was Barcelona 92, which was the very first Olympics that I would watch live events on TV, or that I remember watching live events on TV. And boxing and sprints were very big events for us back then in Nigeria. And it's still something that I miss to this day when I compare how Olympics is shown here, which is very one country ish. So yes, we're in the United States, so it's very very pro-American. I get it, but um, then it was you got everybody's story in the way it was shown back in Nigeria. And although yes, we wanted Nigerians to win, obviously, and they still celebrated Nigerians a lot. Um, it was beautiful still getting stories about other athletes from other places, and it was made a big deal of. And yeah, the production wasn't that great. I mean, picture quality wasn't that great, but this was back then in days. So all that aside, um, sprint was the big theme, and I don't even know if I realized how big it was in the sprints. But we were crazy about 100 meters. I remember conversations we used to have as kids about Carl Lewis. And then Ben Johnson blew him out in that race in '88. And as kids, we didn't understand what doping was. So we used to argue that it was fake. That the white man, I guess that's one of our first, the white man tried to set Ben Johnson up. And then, somebody was, oh, because he wasn't American. Americans made him lose the race. They told him to give the medal back so that Carl Lewis will win. And, what did you know? But who the hell found that out in our crew? I don't even know how that person, because we're all kids. And for the fact that some other kid came up with that story that the white man did not want Carl Lewis to have a silver medal. They wanted him to have a gold medal, which now I think of it, how does it make sense? So yeah, I guess that was my introduction into the white man deciding who gets a medal, who doesn't get a medal. So stories like Jesse Owens weren't even, it was in my adult years that we even get to appreciate how monumental something like that was. But the 100 meters sprint was always a big thing. 200 meters, 400 meters, the hurdles. There was always a dream that we could one day produce somebody that could win. And that's why when Frankie Fredericks of Namibia became the fastest African, well, we used to hate that guy. We used to hate him because it was like, man, Nigerians were the fastest. We won all African games. We came out first, second, third. We dominated. Ghanaians were like the closest to competing against Nigerians. And then a guy from Namibia comes out and he's competing against the fastest in the world. Not even Nigerians can't even come close to him. So I was like, man, I hate this guy. So it was, it was from a place of envy, but, we just throw the word hate back then, but it was out of respect. So it wasn't like we hated him literally, but um, stuff like that is great memories that the Olympics brings for me. And yeah, over time, I will not follow it as much as I used to. And well, of course, when the soccer craze will eventually take over and I'll become soccer crazy like every other Nigerian that you know or West African. Um, the athletic side of it would not die completely, but it still retains one of the happiest memories that I have. So watching Sprint on Netflix, I highly recommend it. It's I think a six episode miniseries following some of the fastest current people in the world, and you have commentary from Usain Bolt, Otto Baldwin, um, Michael Johnson, and some of the other greats who've held world records and been some of the fastest people I've seen in my life. To have done it, and they're describing the current guys in the 100 meters, 200 meters lane right now, and it just brought back all these memories that I may have forgotten. And there was the 4x100 men's final in Barcelona '92, and I remember that race because the up to the coach of Shakari Richardson. His name is damn, I forgot his first name. Mitchell. I should have written that down. He ran the third lap, so he was talking about that because that's the only gold medal he has from the Olympics, and he was talking about how important that race was to him, how he was so happy that he got a gold medal at the Olympics from that race because he won bronze in the 100 meters final, and why I remember that race was that I was watching that race live, and Nigeria was leading up to the last lap of the 4x100. And when Mitchell handed over to Carl Lewis and Carl Lewis took off, I was like, God damn, it was over, man. it was over because Carl Lewis just blew everybody away and set a world record. And I was like, man, oh, we was cussing the poor Nigerian dude who ran the last lap. I can't remember his name right now. I think it was Izzy. And we was well, the dude ran. He ran. I think he set an African record. But the gap that Carl Lewis gave was it's like the way Usain Bolt used to just leave everybody in the dust, leave everybody way behind him. That's what it looked like. And but I was so pissed because I thought I was seeing a gold medal coming. I was like, oh, 4x100 gold. Finally, yes, we're gonna beat USA today. Go beat USA. And then oops, it just saw it happening in real time. And watching this documentary on Netflix and Coach Mitchell. Now he's not a coach and trying to get athletes to get win gold. And I think Shakari is looking. She's looking really good. She's really. She looks like she can take on the Jamaicans. She already did it at the World Championship, but 200 is where she struggles. However, but when he was talking about that, I was like, man, why you gotta bring up that memory? And then they showed the video. I was like, oh man, I remember they took me back to my childhood where I was alone screaming at the TV as if they could hear me in Barcelona. So it's beautiful, and I'll try and get people who love the Olympics, to share memories of the Olympics. And there are also other memories from other sports like boxing. Boxing used to be huge. Boxing used to be a gateway out of poverty in Nigeria a long time ago. I don't know what it's like now. Well, that's another sport that suffered from soccer being huge. Our first medal ever at the Olympics came from boxing, but fortunately, no funding. So, I think now everything goes. It's either soccer. I think mixed martial arts is the hottest thing now. So that's another sport that's really suffering big time. Um, but just watching that, seeing what Jamaica is doing with the sprints, I wish anyone listening in Nigeria or from Nigeria, I wish you guys will remember how when the Nigerian um, qualifiers happened and the Nigerian championships happened. Mobile track and is known as mobile track and field championships because Mobile, the oil company, the has always been a long time sponsor, and the Nigerian ran 10-0-0 to win it. It wasn't impressive. And this was way before I left Nigeria. We'll be like, man, what is that? 10-0-0. Man, get out of here. That's not impressive. And the last time I checked, somebody was winning that with 10 point something, and I was seeing the celebration, and I was like, wow, I guess times have changed. So um yeah, but it's sad for me to see that. It hurts, but hey, I guess, well, now I'm Team USA, so all the best to other people. But I'm happy to see Ivorians. They now have the current fastest African is Ivorian. But there's a guy from, well, stand corrected. I stand corrected on that. There's a Kenyan who, Omoyanla, whose name sounds, if there's a place in Nigeria where if you say that name, there's a certain way you pronounce that name, it will sound like a Yoruba name from the West. So it's interesting, but he's not tall. He's a short, stout guy, and he's technically the fastest African right now based on consistency. So if you had said a Kenyan will be dominating in sprints, back then when I was very active in the sprint circles, we'll be laughing at you. We'll just be laughing at you. Like 400 meters was as fast as Kenyans could go. That was it. But times have changed. I still remember when a white South African was beating Nigerians in sprints, and that's when I knew Nigerians. Yeah, we've lost the ability to take the sport seriously. We've not invested in the sport, and it's just sad to see it because after we lost Ogunye. He was the one who was like the guy who could compete with, who looked like he could compete with Usain Bolt at one point in time. And then he quit to go join the British Navy because he said he has a family and he's not being taken care of by Nigeria. So there are memories like that. There's the sad, but I would rather celebrate right now. And look forward to the episode, the roundtable we'll have on the Olympics. And hopefully, I'll get people from other countries to come and also people from here who are interested in chatting about the Olympics. And yeah, we'll all chat about the good and what made you cry, what made you celebrate, what made you laugh, and yeah. So this is part one. And if you enjoyed it, you want to share a memory with me, hey, you know how to reach me. Send an email or leave a comment on the website or you leave a voice note. All right. Thank you for the privilege of your company. See you at the Olympics. And I don't know about the swimming side of it, the pooping in the water thing. Yeah, we'll talk about that. I still haven't made up my mind. Yeah, I don't know about. Yeah, that's. Just use the swimming pool, please. I don't know about swimming in river. Ugh, I can't even touch Gowanus. No, the Hudson water here. I don't know about what they call that river again. River sign. Ugh. Nah, you just. You know what? Let's end the episode. All right. Thank you for the privilege of your company. Choose.